Sean Levey. Slowed in is 6. They're lined up for the Curragh Classic and are over the mile. The Tattersalls Irish 2,000 guineas. Unquestionable as prominent with Take Me to Church. River Tiber in the centre with alongside Rosallion. Out wide is Haatem as they race the end of the first furlong. Heading for the elbow, it is Take Me to Church, the green jacket on the inside of Unquestionable, followed by Haatem, River Tiber, Rosallion next, and then Atlantic Coast, Bright Stripes, and at the rear of the field is Mountain Bear as they straighten on up, less than 6 furlongs to go. In the lead is Take Me to Church, but only just to Unquestionable, couple clear of Haatem in third, and fourth is River Tiber, and fifth is Rosallion. The back three are Bright Stripes, Atlantic Coast, and Mountain Bear. They're spaced out, heading for the halfway stage, and it's Take Me to Church and Ronan Whelan. Alongside is Unquestionable and Wayne Lorden, less than 2 lengths in front of the third running Haatem and Jamie Spencer, and fourth is River Tiber and Ryan Moore. Fifth is Rosallion and Sean Levey, and then Bright Stripes. Billy Lee on the inside of Atlantic Coast, Dylan Brown, McMonigal, and Mountain Bear remains at the rear under Declan McDonough. There's been very little changes in the order. 2.5 furlongs to go. Take Me to Church, Unquestionable. Looming is Haatem. Being asked now for effort is River Tiber. Rosallion down the outside, followed then by Mountain Bear, Atlantic Coast, leaving behind Bright Stripes, and Haatem strikes the front. Racing to the final furlong. Rosallion, his stable companion, is coming hard in the middle of the track. In between them is River Tiber, breaking clear of Unquestionable. It's Haatem, collared by Rosallion on the stand side. Rosallion and Sean Levey are up in the guineas. From Haatem, what a result for Richard Hannon. Then River Tiber cleared of Unquestionable.
So Rosallion has led number 1-2 for this man, Richard Hannon, in the Tattersalls Irish 2,000 guineas. Richard, a heroic effort again from Haatem, who we'll talk about in a second, but let's give the winner his due. You've always had huge faith in him. How big a moment was that?
Oh, massive. You know, it's very important. He won a Group 1 as a 2-year-old, and he's always been a little bit special. And you know, we've built him up quite a lot, and it's lovely to see him win a classic. I thought he ran a super race last time. He's improved for that. I thought both horses probably ran the races of their lives. And Rosallion go to Royal Ascot now and take on the horse that beat him. And it's going to be a great race, you know, for everybody. And Haatem, I love that horse. He's such a gentleman, and he's a pleasure to have around. And his day will come.
I'm sure you'd run through the various tactical scenarios beforehand. How different did it play out to what you maybe anticipated?
Well, it's always tricky around here, you know, because you're not sure Rosallion's going to settle. Haatem is easy. He's like a bus. You ride him anywhere you want. And Rosallion had to make a lot of ground up, and he's done that, and that was quite impressive. You know, they say, oh, it's not a vintage guineas. Let me tell you, it's you come here and trying to win these races, listed races, nigh on impossible. And you know, it's a pleasure to come here. The people are always very good to us, and I love coming here. It's been a while since we won one. My dad won it in '87, I think, and '92 maybe.
Tyrrell, and don't forget me.
Yeah. Oh no, and Canford Cliffs in 2010.
Course,
sorry,
yeah.
I did forget a classic.
And this fella's drawn comparisons with Canford Cliffs.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'd love to think he's staying training next year. You know, he could go through the lot of them, you know, Group 1s, and you need those horses. There's so much work goes into them from the people at home, and it's great for them. You know, standing there being second and third in the English Guineas was utterly galling, and today more than makes up for it. You know, it's the icing on the cake, and it's fair.
Do you see the winner sticking to a mile throughout the year?
Yeah, I have put him in the July Cup, but he's doing nothing wrong at a mile, in case you didn't notice.
Don't worry, we did.
And I think Haatem could get a mile and a quarter, but I feel so sorry for him. But you know, he gets your heartstrings, Haatem, and his, you know, there's a lot of good races in him.
Yeah, he'll definitely win a big one. Do you see him maybe charting a slightly different trajectory now to the winner?
Well, I don't think he's a lot to find. I do think he'll get a mile and a quarter, and you can ride him anywhere you want. I'd love to travel a bit with him. And, you know, Rosallion, love to think he could make it to a Breeders' Cup mile, round a bend. Love to see that.
Yeah. It looks like it was a really popular result as well. Did the reception please you?
Yes, Aidan came up and shook my hand. And that doesn't happen that way round very often, but fair dues to him, you know. Man's a genius, and he's very hard to beat. But you know, today's your
day, isn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often, and yeah, delighted.
Listen, very well done. Hopefully we might see you back here later on in the year, maybe.
Yeah, love to. Love coming here.
Richard, thanks so much. Well done.
Thank you.
Cheers. I was just having a look back at the closing stages of the Tattersalls Irish 2000 Guineas. The winning rider, Sean Levey, and myself. Sean, congratulations. Just how big a moment is that for you? Having been based over here for a long time before you went to England to come back and win a classic at the Curragh.
Yeah, no doubt, Gary. I think I've said it to everyone since I got here. I get great memories of my first ever ride I had here was on a horse called Southwind Rising, many years ago now, and the track's always been good to me. I've had good winners here, and I've always, as you know it, I've always had the privilege of riding these big races, but never with a horse like that or with a chance like that. And it's definitely nice to come over with a chance and then actually have it pay off.
He's clearly a hell of a horse. Talk us through the race, though. Very, very different from Newmarket today. Were you a little bit further back than you wanted to be, ideally?
I was always happy to give away ground on him, especially if he was doing the right things initially. He can get racy and competitive when a horse sits upside him, so I was never going to be able to sit on the wing. And once Ryan went forward, I had no option but only to come back and follow him. But once I got in behind him, he dropped a bit. I was confident enough. And then my actual worry coming here today was that the Haatem would be a lot better a horse on this track, and he'd take all the beating, really. And I wasn't too far wrong there. He basically got his fractions right for a horse that stays really well. He picked it up a long way out, but he was building it perfectly to the line. And I think my horse his turn of foot just got me out of trouble a little bit.
I think in many ways he deserves a bit of extra credit, Rosallion.
No, hugely, because he's generous, and he tried to pick up on me coming just at the 2 furlong. He tried to pick up on me and he crossfired. I kind of had to sit there thinking he needs to sort himself out fairly quickly, because Haatem is basically having it his way now. And he did. He found and he picked up, and to be honest, it felt as though he felt exceptional his last 4 strides before the line, as if you would have seen the best of him going another half a furlong even, because that's when he really started to open up.
It's a huge result for the yard. Just before we let you go, are you looking forward to a rematch with Notable Speech at some stage?
Yeah, no, of course, no doubt, I'd love to. On a track like Ascot, I believe my horse will probably have a few more, a few aces up his sleeve, I think. But look, it's great to be in that position. It's great going to the race and it being as competitive as that for everyone involved.
Sean, well done. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Cheers, thank you. Thanks.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.